My Lords, I thank the Noble Lady the Minister for her very clear introduction to this statutory instrument, and also thank the Noble Lady Baroness Hoey for raising this issue, even though I'm going to take a very different approach to the SI. I'm going to park the constitutional questions, leave the Windsor framework to one side, but raise the issue of why is Britain globally trailing on the issue of mercury dental fillings. I will take issue with the introduction from the Noble Lady the Minister talking about a stable and safe material and a typically cheaper material. It's worth stressing that what this SI does is provide bespoke arrangements, and here I'm purely looking from the medical health side, bespoke arrangements for a longer transition period away from mercury dental fillings in Northern Ireland compared to the EU. A delay fails out that's in line with the rest of the UK. This is bad for the people of Northern Ireland, bad for the UK, and bad for the world. Coincidentally, there's actually a new study out today by the Rivers Trust and Wildlife and Countryside Link that shows that more than 98% of fish and mussels tested in English waters contain mercury levels above EU safety limits. And in fact, more than half of the fish and mussels tested have mercury levels more than 5 times above the EU safety limits. Now, of course, we all know that mercury is a potent neurotoxin, even at low levels of exposure. The tragedy at Minamata, the disease that resulted from the industrial release of methylmercury in Japan, this is something that has been known for many, many decades. 43 countries have now banned mercury amalgam fillings. The EU, the Scandinavians, but also countries such as Tanzania and Indonesia. Now, the practical reality of this is that crematoriums are now the second largest source of mercury emissions to the air after the combustion of fossil fuels. Now, we know that fossil fuels have to be on the way out for other reasons, so this issue in terms of the percentage contribution is only going to rise higher and higher. Now, there will actually be, of course, I think this has already been mentioned, the Minamata Convention meeting in November, and there's talk of a global phase-out by 2030. That's led by African countries, including Botswana and Burkina Faso. Now, I raised issue with the cheaper point. Often cost is cited as the reason why we have to go slower, but countries such as Germany are using safer alternatives, and the cost is only very marginally higher. And surely, if Germany can manage it, we can manage it too. Now, I think it's also important to understand this on a global scale and the issue of mercury pollution globally. And it's interesting that the African nations are leading at that November convention, because the rise in the price of gold, the rise in the demand for gold, is also associated with massive increases in mercury pollution around the world. We're used to the idea of blood diamonds, but mercury poisoning gold might not be such a catchy phrase, but it's something we really should be talking about. Now, the risks are particularly acute in the Amazon, as highlighted by the campaigning priest Miguel and Angel Cardenas, who works in Peru. It's also a huge issue in artisan gold mining in Africa. And globally, it's estimated to be releasing 800 tonnes of mercury into the air a year. That's nearly 40% of global emissions. And these are global emissions, and they don't stay where the emissions happen. And I point the Noble Lady to a very important study that's just been published in the European Geosciences Union journal. We're used to the idea that food crops being contaminated by taking up mercury from the soil. So the mercury has drifted in dust around the world, settled in the soil, and then been taken up. But what this study has demonstrated, we have not realised this before, this is new, is that the mercury is being taken up from the air by the plants. Literally, when they photosynthesize, they are taking mercury in from the air, and so it's going directly, particularly into green leafy crops that we all need. So I put to the Noble Lady the Minister that this SI is taking Northern Ireland in the wrong direction, but more than that, overall, the government is not taking the steps that it needs to be taking for public health here in the UK, for environmental health here in the UK, and for global One Health.